when Yosef came to Egypt and he blew everybody away when he came to Pharaoh's court. And Pharaoh said, Vayomer Paro el avadav, hanimtza kaze ish asher ruach Elohim bo. Is there any other person in the world who has ruach Elohim in him? The same exact term, ruach Elohim. Merachefet al pnei hamayim, same term. Yosef in the Torah is described clearly as having ruach Elohim. So is Shimshon, another example. Shimshon, it says of him that this happened several times. V'titzlach alav ruach Hashem. In the same exact language that Isaiah chapter 11 says, ruach Hashem, it says Shimshon had ruach Hashem. Multiple times that the Spirit of God was on Samson, on Shimshon. It says it about many figures. It says about Yoshua, that he had a great ruach within him, the successor of Moses. So there are many people in Tanakh that have ruach Elohim. It's not specific to just one person at the end of days. Moshiach will also have Ruach Elohim, like many other people before him. Ruach Elohim being this spirit of prophecy, a prophetic spirit. So it's not a unique term. Next we have another place that Christians in particular like to point out, is in the book of Daniel. That's another potential allusion to Moshiach. Because Daniel says, he looked on, and it's written in Aramaic, in a night vision, the chezvei lilia, in a night vision, and he saw imananei shamaya, with the clouds of heaven, come one like the Son of Man, kevar enash, one like the Son of Man, coming from the sky. Now what does that mean, one like a mortal? Kebar enash, like a human. Who is that? Somebody from the sky. Daniel sees a vision of it. It looks like some human-like figure coming from the sky, and then he describes that to that person will be given Velei Yahev Shilton, he will be given rule and sovereignty and dominance and so on. He will have kingship. Who is that person? So yes, the Gemara says one opinion, that might be Moshiach. It could be Moshiach. It doesn't have to be. Another opinion is it's some other thing. It's an angel perhaps. Maybe it's an angel called Metatron. There's different possibilities of who that might be, right? One like the Son of Man, meaning he's not human, he's kind of like, he looks human. Why might that be the angel Metatron? Because we know the story, maybe you've heard, maybe you haven't, but there's a story of Enoch, Hanoch. There's a book of Enoch, the book of Sifra de Hanoch, which I'll get to in a moment. The book of Enoch, this ancient apocryphal text, describes the transfiguration of Enoch, who was the seventh generation from Adam, the seventh generation descendant from Adam. The Torah says about Enoch that he never died. In a genealogy in the Chumash, it says this person lived this many years and died. This person lived this many years and died. And then it gets to Hanoch and says Hanoch lived 365 years and he was no more because lakachato Elohim, because God took him. He went to walk with God. Strange. Everybody else died. Enoch never died. He went up to heaven. God took him up to heaven. And various apocryphal books like the book of Jubilees and the book of Enoch describe his transfiguration into the angel Metatron. So this angel that's coming here in the book of Daniel, some see this as referring to Metatron, who is like a human being but also an angel. He's half angel, half human, one like the Son of Man. And the term Son of Man, we'll see, comes up often in Tanakh again as referring to many prophets. Ezekiel the prophet was called Son of Man. Ben Adam, God always refers to him as Ben Adam, the Son of Man, go prophesy. So again, it's a generic title. To have the Spirit of God, Ruach Elohim, is a generic thing. Many people have the Spirit of God. To be called the Son of Man is a generic thing. Many prophets are called the Son of Man, including Hanoch, including Ezekiel. Like, hey, human. Right? When Hanoch came up to heaven, the angel said, hey, what's this human doing here? Hey, Son of Man. He was called the Son of Man. He was also called Na'ar. That's the secret of the verse that King Solomon said, Hanoch Na'ar al pi darko. You know that verse, that you should educate a child according to his way? Hanoch le'na'ar al pi darko. That the secret there is Hanoch became the Na'ar, became Metatron, whose Na'ar means the young one, the youthful one. Because the angels who live for thousands of years, when they welcomed Hanoch up to heaven, they called him Na'ar, the youth. He's the young guy that's joining us up in heaven. So that's the secret of the verse Hanoch le'na'ar, literally that Hanoch transformed into the Na'ar into Metatron the angel. So many point out that Daniel is talking about Metatron over here. And in fact, there's a lot of proof for this because the book of Daniel was written at the same time as the book of Enoch. And their language is identical. And many scholars will say that whoever wrote the book of Daniel probably also wrote the book of Enoch, or whoever wrote the book of Enoch was copying from the book of Daniel, because the language is identical and they even have the same wording. The same wording in the book of Enoch as this passage in the book of Daniel about somebody coming from the clouds and like a kavar enash, one like the Son of Man coming from the clouds. It's an identical passage. And our own sages admit that, by the way. Our own sages admit that the book of Daniel is a much later text. Our sages tell us that the Gemara says this clearly, that Daniel did not write the book of Daniel. It was written much later. And in fact, that's why, I don't know if you ever noticed this, but if you look at your Tanakh, where is the book of Daniel found? Yeah, it's not with the Nevi'im. It's not in the section of prophets. It's in Ketuvim. It's in the section of all the other writings, in the later works, together with Esther and Chronicles and over there. The sages did not put the book of Daniel with the other prophets because Daniel did not write the book of Daniel. It's actually a much later work. So it probably was written at the same time in the Second Temple era as the book of Enoch, and that's why they have similar language, and it's not considered a genuine book of prophecy. So it's important to remember that as well. Both the book of Daniel and the book of Enoch are found abundantly in the Dead Sea Scrolls. And the Dead Sea Scrolls was very much an early messianic community that 2,000 years ago, before Jesus, already fled Jerusalem and kind of detached from